sure I can hear you. Testing. Okay.
You can hear?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I'm gonna hit record. You ready? You're starting off. Talk about the 20 passes. Okay. All right, and
welcome back, our football fanatics, to another episode of NFL Twincast, NFL Twin Take, however you're listening. So we are actually going to wrap up our last draft grades. The last division we still have left is the AFC North today. But first, I have one bone to pick, and it's actually on.
He thinks this is a basketball show.
MJ, baby. All hail Black Jesus. This is going to be on topic, though. So, just hear me out here.
My condolences.
So LeBron James, all of a sudden this week, says that he could play in the NFL. I'm sorry. Is that because this was a calculated move? He says that all of a sudden he could play in the NFL. Is that because you just saw Michael Jordan play for the farm system of the best MLB team, the White Sox? All of a sudden, it's been 9 years out of the blue, LeBron James could play in the NFL. You want to know what, LeBron James? Maybe you could play in the NFL. Guess who you would be? You would be Drew Bledsoe to Michael Jordan's Tom Brady. You would be Meek Mill to Michael Jordan's Drake. Do you agree with me?
Okay, so my comment on that,
LeBron, it was calculated.
I'm going to tell you what's going on. LeBron James was offered a contract by Jerry Jones.
Dude, Jerry Jones offers every convict in America.
Obviously, that's to get people in attendance. I get that. It's popular player, popular pick. He has a big body. He's athletic, but if you watch him in the NBA, he cries over every foul and avoids contact. So
he invented the flop.
So he would not make a good tight end.
Flops like a fish.
He's one of the greatest basketball players, non-NFL player. Now let's get back to football.
No, but okay, before we move on,
this is not the last.
Can you not agree though? That was 9 years ago. How's it all of a sudden come out of here? He's jealous. He's envy of Michael Jordan. And
okay.
My last take.
We're gonna hire a private investigator to find this out.
My last take from the Last Dance, the Black Jesus guys, is Packers Nation. Do not try and poison the Bears' food when Khalil Mack comes to town this year. So that's my last take for that. But okay, so now we're gonna move on to the AFC North here. So number one, and
hold up. I'm gonna start this off. Okay, so the AFC North. Now that we're getting back to football, in my opinion, we're gonna go over divisions in about a couple weeks.
Might be the best division.
I think it's the most interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Baltimore was clearly the best team in football last year. They choked in the playoffs, but regular season they had a brutal schedule. They dominated everybody.
Well, and we'll go over. They filled the needs of why, they choked. They filled those
Pittsburgh
needs.
Had no business being near the postseason.
Okay.
They had Duck Hodges and Mason Rudolph and should have made the playoffs.
Since we're going over team analysis right now, what he's doing, Pittsburgh, credit to Mike Tomlin, dude.
Yeah.
You had two quarterbacks where one was famous from getting a helmet thrown at him by Myles Garrett. Another one was famous for being a duck caller. He was like, what's that show? What was that?
Duck Dynasty.
Duck Dynasty. He was like Duck Dynasty, and then the other guy was only famous because he, that whole controversy.
They had a playoff defense. Pittsburgh had a playoff
Pittsburgh had no business winning 7 or 8 games and coming down to the wire of almost making a playoff. So great job, Mike Tomlin.
And then to add to that, the Browns were the most hyped team last year going into the season. They have all the talent in the world. So who knows what's going to happen there.
They drank the juice.
And then Cincinnati, dude, you got smoking Joe Burrow. So
Burrow, baby.
That whole division's interesting. Let's go ahead and start with
first, and I think that a top 5 draft overall was the Ravens. I gave the Ravens an A+. So round 1, they took Patrick Queen.
Wait, where's he from?
LSU.
There you go, baby. Best college football team all time. Well, DBU, NFLU.
And the thing with Patrick Queen is he is literally, if you take the prototype of that positionless linebacker who can cover and who's athletic, that's him. If you just describe their body type and their speed and everything, the new linebacker nowadays on defense, that's Patrick Queen.
He's a good tackler.
He's only in his third 1 year, right? He's already got a left side.
He has very quick lateral, side-to-side speed. He a lot of potential. He's in a great defense. They've had a great defense since we've been alive.
And he can replace the hole that was felt when C.J. Mosley left.
Yeah, he'll step right in. He's going to get a lot of good reps this season. He's going to fit right in.
And we know Baltimore, Ray Lewis, Mosley, they're known for their linebackers on defense too when you had Terrell Suggs. So they need another edge rusher. That was one of the things that was one of the few things missing last year, and they got one in Patrick Queen.
Yeah.
Upside's insane. Round 2, I love the pick. J.K. Dobbins, running back, Ohio State.
That guy is dangerous. Mm-hmm. If you watch the college football playoffs, if he catches 2 footballs, he had 2 drop passes, and if he catches them, he's gone and they're touchdowns, and they win that game. Besides that, if you take away those drops, he had an amazing game, but everyone just remembers the drops.
Well, and that's the thing. So he ran for over 2,000 yards last year. He had 21 rushing touchdowns, and he was I think he was the Big Ten offensive Player of the Year, or he was the Big Ten, voted Big Ten running back year, whatever. Either way, he ran for over 2,000 yards, over 20 touchdowns, and he can catch out of the backfield too, even though he had those drops. But the thing is, Ohio State keeps churning out these running backs, like even back to Maurice Claret and then Zeke Elliott. And J.K. Dobbins, you could argue he's almost, he's just as good, I think, coming out of Ohio State as Zeke Elliott.
Yeah.
I honestly think so.
And I mean, we see what Zeke's done in NFL.
Well, and then you go to that, you're like, so sometimes obviously, you add a strength to your weakness. They just added more strength to their strength. They already have a top 2 rushing attack.
And I absolutely love Mark Ingram. I mean, Deuce.
Big trust.
All-time Saint. Hype man of the team. I mean,
big trust.
They love it. They love him in the locker room. But rumors are that after this season he'll probably be gone. So they're kind of grooming a young running back to step in his place.
Either way, that's a good combo right there for the time being.
Well,
and then
him and Kamara had the most scrimmage yards in NFL history in a season.
And you have Lamar Jackson. So you run an option with those three or some kind of wildcat. I mean, who are you going to take on? You going to take on Dobbins, Ingram, or Lamar?
Ingram doesn't mind splitting carries. He's going to be a good mentor. Dobbins has all the athletic talent, all the ability, the gifts. He'll be a good fit.
And then round 3, I love this pick because what was round 3 and they're picking round 6. I'm going to tie them together. So round 3, they took Devin Duvernay, wide receiver from Texas.
Speed. That's straight speed right there.
And didn't he break all the Texas records for
receiver? He had an amazing year. He overshadowed Johnson.
He had over 100 receptions just last year. He had over 1,000 receiving yards. And then their other pick was James Porsche in round 6, wide receiver.
I thought it was
Proche.
He's talking about cars.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
well, he runs like a Porsche.
He moves
like one.
He is a typical slot receiver. They will plug him in the slot, and that's what they need. They don't have a good slot guy. He's going to be a great slot receiver. He's going to be dependable. The only reason he fell was I believe he had an injury. Something dropped him in this draft where he was supposed to be a higher draft pick. So they got lucky.
And that's the thing that why I wanted to tie their round 3 and round 6 pick right there, because their biggest need last year to show in a playoff game, they had a 3-headed monster at running and tight end. They don't have receivers. They had no receivers to show any production last year.
Hollywood Brown, but he was injured.
Yeah, he was. But besides him, that was their biggest weakness on offense. Big time was especially when they were down to playoffs because they couldn't run anymore, and then tight ends don't have speed. So to get Duvernay, Texas all-time leading receiver. Then you get the guy Proche, who I call Porsche.
Yeah,
they both had over 100 catches. Both had over 1,000 receiving yards. One has speed. You just added with Hollywood Brown, and then now they got the 2 tight ends. They got the 3 runners with Lamar.
Well, it's already hard enough to game plan against Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. And then defense, they got a defensive tackle from Texas A&M, a defensive tackle from Texas Tech, a safety from Iowa, who Mel Kiper was saying is a steal because they got him around 7. If your last pick is considered a steal, that's value. And then they also got Malik Harrison, linebacker from Ohio State.
Yeah.
He led the team in tackles. So they addressed their defense. They got the edge rushers. They got the receivers. They got the running back. I mean, they had needs.
They had a good draft.
Yeah, they had little needs. And, the Ravens, they got great picks at great spots. And they've been drafting. They've been arguably.
Is this the Baltimore Ravens?
Okay,
how long are we going to go on about
last thing I want to say is ever since Ozzie Newsome back to Jonathan Ogden and Ray Lewis, ever since drafting them, they're top 5 every year. They don't mess up the draft.
What'd you give him for a grade?
I gave him an A+. That might be the first A+ I actually gave.
The Saints got one. Okay, let's go on to next team, Kyle.
All right, so number 2.
Oh, buy your Burrow, baby.
Yep. Smoking Joe.
Greatest college football player of all time.
Yeah, cool.
Joe Best to ever do it.
Joe Cool. So Bayou Burrow. I gave the Bengals a B+. It was almost like with the Dolphins, and I think they actually had better value picks after Burrow, just like Dolphins. I already gave them a good grade because of Tua. Bengals, man, they need that franchise quarterback. I mean, their leader is what, Andy Dalton and Boomer Esiason?
Well, look at
all their history for stats.
Look at it this way. Your own leader was raised in your city, basically. He's not.
It was like when D Rose came to the Bulls.
It's a match made in heaven. He was in the greatest conference in college football. He took out the last 2 dynasties. Every game that got bigger, he got bigger. He was clutch as they come. He ran an NFL-style offense with Joe Brady, and he arguably, statistically, and from the eye test, had the greatest college football season.
Yeah, he had to. I mean,
you can argue what you want, but he doesn't
play. We've listened to any of our last podcasts. We've gone over the stats, but everybody.
It's SEC football. He's not going to. 7 top 10 teams. Tell me someone else who beat 7 top 10 teams in a season.
If you have 2 eyes, you know that Joe Burrow had the best
single season
in college football history.
Ice in his veins.
By a quarterback.
He's a legend. Louisiana legend.
Yeah, so Bayou Burrow stays home. Goes
Give him an A. Give him an A. We got Burrow.
The reason I gave him B+ too, guess who they got next?
T. Higgins. Also in the championship last year.
So that adds size right there. T. Higgins, one of the best receivers in college football.
He's a big boy.
Yeah, big target. So you pair him with a healthy AJ Green, you pair him with Boyd, and then you pair him with Joe Mixon. All of a sudden you get some pass protection or just some decent blocking from your O-line. That's looking like a pretty good offense.
They have talent on offense. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do.
And then round 3. So I'm going to tie these together like I did with the Ravens. So their biggest need on defense was linebacker, and we're not
and defensive backs. That's it.
Yeah, but their biggest need, I would say.
He would say, okay, Kyle.
On defense, I'd say is linebacker. So round 3, they got Logan Wilson, linebacker from
Saints wanted to get him. He's a good linebacker.
From Wyoming. Round 4, they got Akeem Davis.
This guy's gonna be a steal. He is one of my candidates for Defensive Rookie of the Year. If you know, who's that Colts guy? The
freak?
Yes.
The maniac?
Yes, he is going to be just like him. He was undervalued because of where he came from, just like Darius Leonard. Mm-hmm. The guy's a tackling machine. He's a smart player. He's physical. He has all the traits you want, but he played for Appalachian State.
Hopefully this linebacker doesn't get suspended every 2 weeks and blow a playoff game for the Bengals. So that's been a need for them for a little bit.
That's perfect.
And so they got 3 linebackers. 3, and the reason that I say they were all good picks, every single one of them had over 100 tackles last year. Every single one. So that's 3 tackling machines for their defense, which was
that's as many tackles that the Bears had as a team.
Dude, the Bears, a down year for the Bears defense is the best year the Saints have ever had on defense.
We had an all-pro linebacker, Demario Davis.
We had no problem stopping the Saints in the championship game, in the NFC Championship.
We had no problem stopping you in Soldier Field.
Speaking of Soldier Field.
Continue.
Okay.
Speaking.
So round 5, they got Khalid Kareem, defense end of Notre Dame. The reason that's a good pick, too, also for the defense, so you're talking about how they need an edge rush. They got the 3 linebackers. He led the Irish in forced fumbles and was tied for the team lead in sacks.
They don't play anybody. Continue.
The Irish had a top 10, top 15 defense.
I said they don't, but they don't play anybody. Okay. They play 2 hard teams a season.
Okay, so
no offense, Notre Dame. I know you're a loyal fan base. You're a good program, good team, but they don't play. I don't trust their players till I see what they do in the league.
But one thing I will say is what they have going on there with Brian Kelly, the job he's done there.
It's a great system.
3 straight 10-win seasons.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're a solid football team.
No, they are.
And they have great defense, and they produce some NFL players.
They're a good program.
Every year they have some NFL players.
Yeah, a lot of them don't pan out. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, well, tight ends, but anyways, we'll find out for the Bears.
Well, not Kamak because he's in Chicago.
Okay.
All right, next.
Well, but yeah, so I'm just saying I gave him B+ because you got your franchise quarterback, you got a big target.
You got the best quarterback in college football.
You address the linebackers, the edge rush, so.
Big boy at wide receiver.
Yeah, so I gave Bengals a B+, so 3rd.
Oh, LSU, you of the North, baby.
I got the Cleveland Browns.
The most hyped team last year.
So, I think they had I think everyone in this division had a pretty solid draft. I gave them a B. Yeah. Round 1, they got arguably the best tackle in the draft, Jedrick Wills from Alabama. So that's protection right there. Because what was
he's a smart player too if he played under Nick Saban.
Well, and what was a big problem for Mayfield besides I know he had issues.
Oh my gosh, he was running for his life.
Yeah, exactly. So yes, he had issues with some.
He was doing too many commercials too.
Yeah, I know. With the ball control issues, he's fumbling and whatnot, and he's a smaller guy too in stature, and I think he thinks he's more athletic than he is. Even I love Mayfield, but I think he thinks he's quicker than he is.
Let me go into their next pick.
Okay, so that's protection for Mayfield, though. Next pick, go ahead, Corey, round 2.
Next pick, they got Grant Delpit. If you don't know who he is, he won an award this season for the best defensive back in college football. 2 years ago, if he would have came into the draft, he would have been a top 10 pick, no doubt about it. He had a great career at LSU. Very smart defensive player. Knocks on him tackling a little bit, but he played with an ankle injury all season last year and still played better than majority of safeties. He's going to be a great safety. He's going to be a starter from day 1, in my opinion. But
I think he was the 3rd best safety in the draft. I think it was.
I think you're wrong. He was the best.
Okay.
He won the award for the best, and he won a national championship.
I think you could flip him and Antoine Winfield Jr. But I'm a big fan of Delpit, and like I'm saying, it's a coin flip.
Tell him who they're pairing him with, Kyle.
Well, no, the
cornerback.
No, so listen though, the thing that I like with Grant Delpit, I wanted the Bears to get him is The tackling, that's something you can actually work on though.
A lot,
Tackling,
a
you do
lot of
that.
that's just effort. That can
Yeah,
be
that's what I'm
fixed.
saying. That's not one of those where it's like size or speed because he has the ball skills.
How many defensive backs do we see not use their arms when they tackle?
Well, and dude, the
They look
guy
like a pinball machine.
he's instinctive, man. He knows
Oh,
where the ball's going. He
he's
has an
smart.
knack for the
Smart
football,
player.
so like that's something you can work on. And then
Well, Kyle, they're pairing him with who? Remember Greedy last year? Your Greedy person?
Greedy!
Yeah.
Greedy!
DBU, baby.
DBU. And then round 3, Corey, I'll let you go again.
They got Phillips,
Yep,
LSU linebacker. Smart player. He wasn't the most talked about. He wasn't the most talented. He didn't make the biggest plays, but he did what he was asked to do. He's athletic. He's smart, like I said. I mean, you're at LSU for defense. If you're at an SEC school for defense, you're good.
So my thing with that is
He'll step right in. He'll be good.
they won the championship, and he led that defense in tackles.
Yeah. No,
so even if he's not the flashiest, the biggest name, he led the defense in tackles. It's we all know
the biggest game.
We all know Cleveland is LSU Junior University.
They're smart,
I love
man.
it.
They're
I love
smart.
it. OBJ, Greedy, Jarvis, Delpit, Phillips. I mean, they're literally LSU.
Just keep drafting them. It's
And
like
then-
a farm system.
So you know how after like round 4 and 5, a lot of times you're kind of just you hope this person can pan out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they got Donovan Peoples-Jones in round 6.
Okay, he is very underrated. He has all the gifts
Upside
to be a receiver.
Athletic.
His problem was his quarterback. That whole offense this season was a struggle.
So
I mean, he's a good prospect.
Yeah, so he had some injury issues at the tail end of his career, and his quarterbacks did suck at Michigan. That's usually a Big Ten problem. Well, Michigan problem, even though Harbaugh's supposed to be the QB whisperer.
No,
But Donovan Peoples-Jones, if you just take him to the combine, or you just watch him, the guy can fly. He can jump. He was the Gatorade Player of the Year in Michigan coming out in the state of Michigan when he came out of high school.
he has the talent.
Oh,
he has
the talent is insane. So
he just needs a quarterback.
That's what I'm saying. He could do kick return, punt return. He could play receiver. He could be like going down Wildcat. Like the guy. I mean, if you're I keep saying this, but if you're a great coach, somebody with that talent, you find a spot for him on the field, and that's round 6. So that's a steal.
Yeah, no,
you can use him as something.
He had, in my opinion, he was a round 2 or 3 talent, and he dropped because of what happened in his college.
So as long as he's healthy, I mean, that's just another weapon. So Mayfield doesn't really have an excuse this year.
No, he's
got better pass protection. You got Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt in the backfield. You got Jarvis, OBJ, and who was that? Who am I forgetting?
He must be really important.
That's didn't they snag? They snagged Austin Hooper.
Oh, he's good.
And that's
good. I had to watch him play the same.
Yeah, so they snagged, and that's the thing too. So they got that. I don't know what small school they got that tight end. I think he was a converted D lineman. They drafted him. People think this tight end's going to be a stud that they just drafted too. So that's another pick. Everyone's like, oh, because it's the thing with like Donovan Peoples-Jones, athletic. So the crazy part is David Njoku might be their third tight end now. So that means their tight end.
He could be a first tight end.
That's what I'm saying. So their tight end room stacked. Got 2 great running backs. You got OBJ and Jarvis and Donovan Peoples-Jones you could add in.
Some LSU alum.
Mayfield had a great rookie year, so he could bounce back. So there's no excuse. So the Browns.
And the hype's not on him this season, so I think they'll do better.
And they actually, no offense to Freddie Kitchens, but they got somebody who could coach over Pop Warner Pee Wee football.
This next team we're going into is one of the most popular teams in NFL. Mm-hmm. Huge fan base, loyal fan base, huge history. I'm going to start off with just saying I trust their draft, even if it's not big names, because Mike Tomlin.
I was going to say, I trust Mike Tomlin.
Dude, he knows what he's doing. Runs a great system. They don't have a big coach turnover. They don't have a big quarterback turnover, and that's because they know what they're doing in this franchise. So, Kyle,
the good thing is Big Ben put down the beer and stopped getting ramboozled. Honestly, it's a new term that Drake coined. It's getting drunk in Canada. So Big Ben stopped doing that. He put down the beer and he picked up the football. He got the haircut. He shaved. He could throw an NFL football now. So Santa Claus diet's over, hopefully. And
take this. Before Big Ben gets injured, Pittsburgh's the top 3 team in AFC for however long it's been. And he gets injured, so they have 1 year where they just miss out on a postseason with 2 guys who can't throw a football from me to you. And
James Conner kept getting hurt too.
Yeah, and Juju didn't have anyone to take pressure off him. The thing is, Pittsburgh has all the talent in the world, a great franchise. They could easily be a sleeper in AFC, and no one's talking about them.
Well,
probably because Baltimore took over.
They had health issues. Their division's getting a little more stacked up. But Big Ben, I make fun of how he takes care of himself, like shape-wise.
Oh, his body, yeah.
But dude, he's a first ballot Hall of Fame quarterback, and I trust Big Ben, dude. They have had some. I know, obviously, Antonio Clown and Le'Veon Bell are long gone.
Oh yeah. Well, people forget that. Those
But they
two
had a
big
top
ones.
3 offense every year with them. Like Big Ben can
Yeah.
sling the football and has for over a decade. So he's back. They got some help big, which Juju Smith needed big time. Now Juju, he can't get double teamed because they got Claypool from Notre Dame.
Yeah, yeah.
He's a big body from Notre Dame.
He's a big prospect.
Yep, good receiver. Because Juju, it's way different when you're like the Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan. You're a great player. This isn't even a comparison. But like when you're Batman Robin, so how Juju was Robin.
So Drew Brees and Mike Thomas.
Well, but honestly, like
Sean Payton and Drew Brees.
Juju,
Alvin Kamara, Mark
Can I
Ingram.
talk?
Oh, you can try. Go ahead.
Jesus. Well, Black Jesus.
Black
Michael
Jesus.
Jordan. So Juju was a stud until he started getting double teamed and he had to become the number one. And that happens a lot of times. Like when, I mean, people find out it's a lot harder. Like when Lance Briggs had to take the number one role when Urlacher left. You just find out, you know.
I would say he's like a 1B receiver. He's good enough to be a number one, but he does great at being like a compliment.
Yeah, just not double team. They need some help. So Claypool had over 1,000 yards, had over 10 touchdowns, big body. So I like that. And then Big Ben's coming back. So that helps with receiver.
And Kyle, you have to count their draft too. Minka Fitzpatrick, you could call a draft pick
because
they gave up a draft pick for him. He was a
What were the Dolphins doing?
Dude, Minka Fitzpatrick, if we consider him a draft pick for the trade value, steal.
Well, that Steelers
changed that defense. That guy was he was like a ball hog.
Yeah, that Steelers defense is like some of those 70s Steelers defenses, you know, when they won all those Super Bowls, 70s, 80s, all those defenses. Even us growing up, what we watched with their defenses, their defense is back, man. And they're young, they're hungry. I mean, it looks Watt's brother looks like a younger JJ Watt.
Yeah.
And he's got the Watt genes. You got Dupree. And then also, they added Alex Highsmith. So a lot of people didn't see him play because he's an edge rusher for Charlotte. But he's a former walk-on, and he had 14 sacks last year and 21 and a half tackles for loss behind the line of scrimmage. 14 sacks, 21 and a half behind the line of scrimmage tackle for loss.
If he even does half those numbers in NFL, he'll be productive.
So you add him to an already solid, great defense. And then round 4, this guy's a good running back. Again, he just last year had health issues. But you've seen upside. He had 2 games last year in the Big Ten with over 200 rushing yards, 2 games last year. Anthony McFarland, running back from Maryland. What was another issue last year? Another position where they were injured at?
Oh my gosh, James Conner had a hangnail every other week.
And you know they're trying to still move on from Le'Veon Bell, find that answer.
And James Conner is a great running back, but he's too injured.
Yeah, so maybe if he's not carrying as much as the workload, Anthony McFarland, that's a good 1-2 punch. So they got another receiver to help with Juju, kind of move on from Antonio Clown. They got another running back to help with James Conner and move on from Le'Veon Bell, and then you got Big Ben to come back instead of the 2 quarterbacks who you could flip a coin which one. I don't even know, man.
I don't even know where they found these quarterbacks.
That's what I'm saying. So, and then they got an offensive guard from Louisiana.
Oh, he's good. Louisiana.
Well, it's more protection for Big Ben because he's getting
up there in age.
I don't know how.
He's elusive though.
I guess I was gonna say he's not by any means quick, but people slip off him, his big body for some reason.
Yeah.
But he's had injury problems later in his career, so he needs the protection.
Oh yeah.
And then they got a safety from Maryland in round 6, a defense tackle from Nebraska in round 7. So clearly they were smart by going with a lot of Big Ten players, Corey.
What? Oh, okay. Is that conference that does good until they meet SEC teams? And they choke in the playoffs?
U of I, baby. Lovie Smith. Let's go.
Okay, this is an NFL show, not a high school football show.
So I gave it, they were 4th, I ranked them, because I think their division had one of the best drafts overall, and that's with the B-. I mean, they
had a good draft.
Yeah.
They just were in a great division.
They got some weapons for Big Ben, protection for Big Ben, more defensive pieces to an already great defense. So, all in all, the AFC North had a great draft.
It's going to be interesting this year.
It's going to be an awesome division this year.
They're definitely going to take one of the wild cards.
Because even though I think the Bengals are clearly going to not be the top 3, they're going to be entertaining.
And they'll spoil some teams.
Yeah, and they're going to be entertaining with Burrow. So, that's wrapping up all our draft projections. What do we got next, Corey?
What we got next right now is I want to go into everyone bashing Mike Thomas for having Twitter fingers. He's not just a keyboard warrior. He has that Michael Jordan mentality. If you want to even dog Michael Thomas, he will come at you just like he does on the field.
Kind of meant like what's the next podcast?
Best wide receiver in football.
The draft.
Everything he said to Devontae Parker was big facts. Mike Thomas, you can't guard him. He's setting every record. He will be better than Jerry Rice when he retires.
Well,
and that's his mentality. Next.
Well, hold on though. To comment on that, so you know how
he had more catches than all Bears.
You know how we're looking for live sports and entertainment during this COVID. I think it'd be very entertaining to see Kevin Durant and Mike Thomas with their Twitter fingers.
Oh, Mike Thomas would own him.
Dude, they're pretty strong with trolling people online.
But Mike Thomas proves it on the field.
Well, Kevin Durant proves that.
You can't guard him, baby. That's
think,
all you see every game when he's scoring tutties and catching it.
I find it funny. I think it's like how, as a Sox fan, you love AJ Przenski, you hate him if he's not on him. Bulls,
yeah. Oh yeah, I love Mike
You
Thomas,
love Dennis Rodman. You may not like him if he's not like. He's one of those people you love him on your team. You see why other teams might not.
Yep.
So that's how I got to go with that. And then the last bone I have to pick before we go on to what
you're gonna make fun of the Superdome.
No, I'm not. What I am gonna, what's this guy, Bill Barnwell, whatever, you lost all in any credibility, and it's coming from.
Is this about basketball?
No, it's not basketball. He ranked the Bears with the 31st ranked off season, and then they also predicted we're gonna finish last in the AFC North behind the lines. That's absolutely.
So he's a realist.
Hey, Barnwell, I'll give you my phone number, my email, and a way to reach me when we go to the Super Bowl this year. So that was my last bone to pick. So
Corey, you go to the Super Bowl.
Corey, let's talk about what we're gonna talk about next. Since we just.
Oh, I just want to go on one more thing. Everybody's bashing the Superdome because
they have some porn site trying to buy them out.
And that's
the most action they've had in the Superdome in years.
The reason that porn site's trying to buy us is because we get screwed by the NFL referees, screwed by Roger Goodell, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
And we basically, Go ahead, Kyle.
Okay, so next since we're done with the drafts, we're gonna actually go into. We're gonna name 5 players for like the main awards. You know how they do the award show?
D-Roy.
Yeah, at the end of the year, like
MVP.
who won Offensive Rookie of the Year, Defense Rookie of the Year, MVP, Coach of the Year, Executive of the Year. So we're gonna go into 5 players, coaches, whatever for each award. We're gonna take
some predictions.
Yeah, we're gonna say who we think has the best shot at winning. First show coming up next is gonna be Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Offensive Rookie of the Year, and then Defensive Actor.
So next we're gonna hit Offensive Rookie of the Year. We'll hit about 5 major awards. Then after we do the awards, that's when it's gonna get fun. We're going to break down the schedule, who's going to win each division, playoffs.
And if breaking news happens from now until then.
Yeah, like when you have LeBron James, who is apparently going to be a golfer tomorrow, like Tiger Woods or something. I mean, because he's jealous of MJ. And
so
some Barnwell guy no one's heard of trying to call out the Bears because he's going.
I'm going to do you guys a favor, and this episode's going to end. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
You guys see how he's Scottie Pippen to my MJ?
All right. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and we look forward to our next episode.
All right. Take care.
Go Saints.
Out from Bristol, Connecticut, the ESPN headquarters.
You want to hit pause on that? I feel like it got better as we went on.